Into 2025 with the Lovelock family of Sunninghill. Rough cut photo trails and video clips. Yeah, just a couple of days, but it includes this clip. You've got to skip right through it. Seeing the new year in the Comrades Club with friends. In fact, a lot of friends in there. You just see a couple there. And yeah, thoroughly enjoyable. And then I walked back home and joined the family. It's all on the photo clips and photo trails. And then after this few seconds of introduction, we run into the standard introduction of me walking down the front drive. But anyhow, enjoy the video if you've got the patience to watch it. We're starting with the standard introduction, where we live at 22 Armitage Court in Sunninghill. Warning signs about various guard cats. This spot, known as Robin's Corner, is where GPS was tested from the late 1980s, down at this spot. And in fact, that's the bit of garden sculpture that June got Robin for a birthday present several years ago. There's the oak tree that sprung up from an acorn in the early 80s, I think that was, if not a little bit earlier. And there is the accommodation for owls that's only been used by guard cats. Yes, cameras and mirrors everywhere. There is Homer on guard duty. There's the robot boat. Lots of work needed on it before it can make an Atlantic attempt. That's Snoopy the Viking, just there. Here's June's car, with promotion of the website gpss.co.uk. That was a business decades ago, is now hobbies like the robot boat and charitable causes. There's Robin's bicycle, hasn't had a chance to use that yet. Here's the accommodation for guard cats. Yeah, there's the sign again. And also armed mice. Can't be too careful going around. Yeah, they're all over the place. But we do have signs. Beware of the mouse. Perhaps that should say mice. Then we're making our way towards the front door, but before that, that camper was used to take Snoopy's robot boat down to the coast for Atlantic attempts, and there's the warning sign. Battle damage. June said Robin did it. Robin said the wall did it, but the wall is okay. Yes, that's the flatulent fairy. Lots of expensive jewellery on her. If anybody's interested in trying to steal any, but I wouldn't recommend it. And peanuts everywhere. Yes, automatic bird feeders. I say bird feeders, it's peanut feeders. There's all sorts of, that thermometer's shifted. Bit of garden maintenance, I have to do it sometime. Signs everywhere. This is where I'm obliged to, I don't know whether I can do this, I'm obliged to read out these signs for health and safety reasons. These have been here some time. That's June just coming down the stairs. Closed circuit TV, hidden TV cameras inside and outside this house. Sound and videos monitored in local houses and elsewhere. Now, of course, I must emphasise these are just jokes, because people will say, oh, you daren't say that. So it says, no trespassing. Violators will be shot. Survivors will be shot again. Yeah, there's another camera. But that's my study in there. Do not disturb. I'm disturbed enough already. But this sign is probably the most important, because it's not just cameras you have to worry about. Home of mad ex-NATO scientist Robin Lovelock. Beware of web cameras and water squirters. Loaded with water, paint, acid, DNA tracer or nerve agent. Robin would not be mad enough to test these, or would he? Just a joke, of course. Right, I think it's safe to go into the house now. Now I've got to, this is going to be difficult because I've got to try and get the key out of my pocket. Here we go. Right, so into the house safely, and yes, not easy. My cameras aren't working, so I'm having to use this smartphone. And what shall we go to next? Probably into the lounge, which isn't too bad. This is Lady Michelle's pussycat, who's on temporary guard duty. Hello, lady. I hope you're not dozing on duty. So the lounge isn't too bad in terms of tidiness. Yes, Christmas decorations, including the fairy at the top here. And one of the uses of these videos is to encourage guys who may make offer for property maintenance. And of course, that's lots of things. I mean, for example, this is the games room that you can see is very untidy. And yes, I do take some responsibility for this, although not that. What's this? Robot boat related thing, like tasting a servo to death. Lots of other stuff here. So it gives you a flavour of it. And of course the photo trails show that. And do a quick glance into the kitchen, because June seems to be there. And gosh, that's a surprise. There's tennis on the television. I think that's from Perth, Australia, but not sure. Oh, there we go. Say hello, June. Okay. No, she still has hair problem with cough and cold. It's been lasting for practically a year now. Right, so now we're going to go and do a quick tour of the garden, because I haven't spoken about Baldrick's cunning plans. Try not to trip over things. Baldrick's cunning plan last year, which was very good, was to create space in the garden, and I'll go quickly to that. Past the telescope, I built the optics for that when I was a boy at school still. That's the main mirror down the end there. No chance to do any work on that for decades. And down past the sundial. This is the workshop area, that's the laboratory there, and the metal detectors. This is the area that was created to create space for tools. There, even got a vice. A workshop area, but lots of spare space for tools to be put in the right place. And we made a start. The main thing is there's no lack of space for putting up extra hooks and things. So now, hammers, files, spanners, this could still be improved, garden stuff. The key thing is it's all out in the open. And when you find, that saw, we'll say, may look new, but it's not that good compared with the other saws, it can be thrown away. But you don't throw away the good stuff. That's looking through the window into the laboratory. Mostly robot boat electronics. We'll have a glance of that. Here we go, robot boats. That's the smallest that was successfully sold, not across the Atlantic. And lots of other stuff up here. And that's the main work area, if and when I get a chance. They're the bits up here in various photo trails, which are often useful from the last attempt. Bits of rusty that you can no longer buy, but they can be a useful guide, or have little bits inside them. Right, while we're down this in the garden, we'll use the opportunity to take a glimpse. Yes, that's a sundial, and that's the main sundial, made with a couple of old saws you see there for the main means of casting the shadow. And that's a reference sundial, so we can check things out. But the shadow is cast by that globe and that. And of course, sundials work in Greenwich Mean Time, GMT. But British summertime is 1 hour added to that. Lots of stuff, all overgrown, look. That's an easy job. I reckon to cut this back lawn with the tools, including getting the tools out, is no more than about half an hour work. We'll take a walk down here. This is coming out lovely. Sweetly smelling stuff. Do you know the name of it? So we're down to the bottom area here. Oh yes, primroses coming out right through the year, it seems. Down to the third pond. Oh, did I say pond? No. Bog area. Work needed there. Simple work. So that plastic's covered. That hawthorn doesn't seem to have survived. That one has. And that one I think as well. And this was June's bright idea, to protect things like bird boxes or even within there from cats, so birds may choose to nest. So I'm now working my way around the back garden. Yes, lots of rubbish here, although some stuff is not so much rubbish. Quite nice bits of furniture really. Yeah, so no lack of space for putting stuff to rot down, just needs chopping it all up. Yes. Looking up, there's a bat box. No bats have chosen to do it, and further up, maybe accommodation for squirrels, but I don't think they are nesting here. Similar way that is, this comes into flower, that creeper. Can't remember the name of it now. So just showing you more space. Mowing the lawn, easy, just look down the end and there's a fly mow, and there's a strimmer, and there's various other tools including gloves. So that was Baldrick's cunning plan a year or two back to create space in the garden, and good help was had by me from Paul over at Problem, point out things, but we still got lots more work to put things in the right place. Yeah, so there's Gingy, or Fart a Lot, as Samantha, no, Michelle christened him that. More cat forts, bug palaces. So a lot of work has been done in the last year or two. It hasn't been completed from the point of view of things put in the right place. So we've cleared junk out of the house, decided what junk to throw away, but kept the important stuff. So I may as well use the opportunity to go around the side of the house. Great risk of tripping over things because everything's overgrown. This is June's greenhouse. She's responsible for that lot. And there's a hawthorn tree. I think that's may have survived. Coming around the side. Sorry about the politically incorrect decorations on things. And where we keep stuff, I say junk, it's often useful stuff. Pipes or whatever. The taps for various sources of water, including water squirters, some of them. Yeah, wood around the side here, and they're working their way round to behind where the dustbins are kept, which you've already seen. So I think that's the tour as of this shot just after Christmas 2024. So there might be changes if this introduction appears before some other photo trail into 2025. But yeah, coming back past the pond, very pleased with the work there. It just needs tidying up, and yes, the leak in the pond fixed, and lots of other bits and pieces. So let's go into those photo trails and possibly video clips, but mostly photo trails, starting about here. Monday the 30th of December 2024, starting with a summary of the photo shot that day. Yes, the Happy Christmas Bridge near Sandhurst, and yes, various places we popped into, including comparing beers with Poiter. Yes, his is much better than mine. And there's Lady Michelle's Pussycat with Michelle. So yeah, that's the trip we did to pick up Michelle from Saskia and Gary's. And Samantha actually did a bit of housework, a bit of hoovering. And we were off. Yes, there's Homer in June's car. June's driving, of course. And I checked out the tracker. That was the spare Satcom's tracker. And yeah, so a lot of it is the Yateley and on their way back as well. So that's the journey through, including through Camberley. Yeah, it looks like somebody stand there near the Staff College. Oh, past the the elephants and into Yateley, along the Little Vigo to Saskia and Gary's place. And there's Sebby, their Pussycat. There's a bit of artwork. And then we're back off. And Michelle wanted some plumbing bits. And so we took a run. Yeah, that's near where they are, Yateley. Under the Happy Christmas Bridge into Kin's Do-It-Yourself in Sandhurst, where we got stuff, and then past the Staff College. Yes, a bit of barbed wire there, a few other landmarks. Through Camberley, that is, and through Bagshot, past Bagshot Park, and on the road through South Ascot, because I wanted to pop into Ascot Hardware, and mostly to see Poiter and show him my beard. Anyhow, but also got some 4GB and other size SD cards, hopefully to go in the camera and make them work a little better. And yeah, some snaps with, oh yes, Samantha helped June put the dustbins out as well. Check the tracker, showed where we'd been. Anybody could see where we were. May not know what we were doing. Back home, just here. And yes, of course, the main activity was that video. And they were watching something or other on the telly. And then they moved into the lounge and chucked me off the TV and things there. So I thought, time to take a walk down into the village, taking the cue ball with me. Yeah, overexposed that. It's very difficult to get the camera exposure right, I find, on this camera I'm using. And back home. Yes, they're still watching the telly with Lady. Hello, Lady. So, time for bed. That's the end of the summary. So now into all the photos in the order that they were shot. Starting, looks like 2:10 in the afternoon. And yes, there's June doing it. Oh, sorry, June. Samantha doing a bit of hoovering. Welcome to see her doing some housework. And yeah, not that many snaps, but when things happen rarely, you take the opportunity. So it looks like we're leaving. This is to go and pick up Michelle from Yateley, so I take a few snaps in the garden, including with me with Homer. And there we go. And at the end of the day, can't predict what photos I'm going to take. It's partly a check of the camera, whether I've got the settings right. And also, yes, that spare spot tracker, I put that in. I think it needs, as I discovered several weeks ago, I think it needs a resetting, basically, but connected it up. Past the Windmill Pub, out onto the A30. Yes, took several there. Past that place that still has been practically derelict for years. It was a pub. And yes, past Hallgrove School, opposite Longacres. And where next? Over the dual carriageway, past the Cricketers Pub. There's the entrance to Bagshot Park. There's the archaeology centre that was the police station. So coming through Bagshot now, and the Elm Tree, which I'm sure gave the Elm Tree pub its name, past that Baptist Methodist church there, I think. Yes, another pub on the right there, past, so we come up the hill past Penny Hill to the, was it Jolly Gardener roundabout? I get mixed up. And through Camberley, and yes, those caught my eye. I think somebody must have been killed, or they're difficult to say. You know, they left a load of flowers left in memory. And yeah, past a few historic landmarks along the way. A lot of them have got connections, of course, with the army and Sandhurst. Pardon my French. Yes, I remember that's been there a little while. So we're still going through the middle of Camberley, and a lot of these places have been there for a long time, and I remember them well. McDonald's, and getting near the Elephant, I think, and I'm keeping my eye open for that. Yeah, Kentucky Fried Chicken. There's the Elephant, Camberley Elephant. That's been there a while. So come to the big junction there, and straight on through to the little place of, over the railway, little place of Blackwater, I think that is, named after the small river that goes through, or canal, whatever you call it. And up the A30, heading towards Blackbush, and yeah, lots of parking along there. There's the sign to the Ely pub that's been a while there, and then we turn off and we're heading out now to Yateley, along the side of Blackbush Airport and Common, into Yateley, up Little Vigo. Yeah, lovely little lane that is. We walk across from the houses straight into the common land, and yeah, so we're practically there. Yes, park the car opposite. They get out. I probably, yeah, straight into the house by the look of it. Yes, so relax there for a little while, and Sebby eats and meows at us. Yes, that's the artwork that with the Scriven's crest, and that's supposed to be Gary, I think. Had a quick look out in the common land. Yeah, just the other side of the road, if you call it a road, and back. Right, getting ready to go, and as I probably said in the summary, the intention was to go via Sandhurst. There was a well-known big hardware store. I remember going there years ago, King's, I think, do it yourself, and it might have been a year or two ago. So we passed the Anchor Inn, which is opposite Little Vigo, and we're making our way to Sandhurst now. June's used the sat-nav to get the optimum route. Yeah, so of course a lot of these places you know well from years ago. Yes, the angling place there, and so I just taking snaps as I went along, and we must be getting near there. Oh yes, under the Happy Christmas Bridge, that has been recently repainted, because I don't know when it was done. Probably it was painted in the 60s. Somebody had done that. So we got there to King's Do It Yourself, and yes, lots and lots of stuff in there, but Michelle got what she wanted, I think. And I was looking for SD cards, and I got a tip there, but I didn't find the place, so no to worry. So on their way back home, alongside you can see the long barbed wire fences, the grounds of Sandhurst Academy. Yes, lots of good barbed wire, and a bit blurred, I'm afraid, the pictures. So we're now coming along the A30, and A lot of these things are tests of the camera, or my poor camera work with a camera that's far from perfect. Some people will recognise some of these places, and yeah, so churches and pubs. That's the entrance to the academy, Sandhurst Military Academy, and yes, sorry about how blurred some of these pictures are. So we're now out of Camberley and past the fire station. That was Old Dean off to the left, and approaching that junction where the golf place is, and I get mixed up whether it's called the Jolly Farmer or the Jolly Gardener. Ridiculous, isn't it? There's another pub there on the left. There's Hobbycraft and other places across the road. Yeah, that's the Yew Tree and the Yew Tree pub. There it. Yeah, it's all blurred. That's looking across into Bagshot Park. There's the what was the police station. There's Cricketer's pub. Yeah, very blurred. Long Acres along the A30. So of course the exposure's longer. Turn left at the Windmill pub on the road now towards Sunninghill, over the boundary into Berkshire, and yes, decided to go the back way. This to get through to cut through to South Ascot, and so past the railway and the it's all blurred, isn't it? That was a fire station, believe it or not. Come up into the centre of Ascot, turn right, and there's Ascot Hardware. So I pop in, have a word with Pointer. Hello, Pointer, and also pick up some SD cards. And as I thought, he had those, and also some useful tips. So now coming back into Sunninghill, past the Cause Hall on the left, up the High Street, all very blurred of course, and yes, look a bit serious there, don't I? Right, coming into Armitage Court now. Got home to 22 Armitage Court. There's the robot boat. There's Homer. Hello, Homer. Oh yes, dustbins have got to go out. Give Samantha a call. Yes, you've got to get used to doing things, Samantha. Yes. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to do it. No, definitely not. I'll check the tracker. Yes. Places we've been, including Little Vigo and Saskia and Gary's, and then take that other route to King's Do It Yourself in the middle of Sandhurst, because I did a little walk near there as well, and stopping in Ascot and back home to 22 Armitage Court, just here. So what's else? Yes, oh, video, that is, might have been still processing then. Yes, I think it was. Had a bit of a doze, but not for very long. And oh yes, I saw a cobweb on the closed circuit TV, needs clearing. They're watching something on the TV in the kitchen. Had another doze. That cobweb needs to be cleared, so I go out, clear it away from the camera. That's out on the back porch, so now you can see anything there. Mostly things like foxes coming for peanuts. Yes, reminder, top up the peanuts or replace them where they're completely gone. Those are already hardly eaten up on that bird feeder in the porch. And closed circuit TV, yeah, shows that one's empty, so go upstairs in the spare bedroom, access to the roof, and top up that. That goes down pretty quick during the day with the birds coming down for it. Ah, he says, but what are we checking now? Oh yes, the Spot T2 tracker to see I think he just confirmed the same thing, as we didn't get much more than a couple of positions, probably with a default hour between. And then I had a call from Paul, I think it was. Yeah, lovely call, in terms of what he'd done that day. Very interesting, having to pick up that van from his traveller friends, or for his traveller friends. And yeah, that was Paul. Good catching up. And what else? He says, yeah, they pitched use of the TV. What is it? Some boring stuff. Wonder Woman, I think it was. Yes, they're engrossed in that with Lady. I'm not sure Lady's paying much attention to it. That's probably processing, coming along nicely. It's only a little way to go. And yeah, so yeah, I reckon while it's processing, I'll take a walk down to the village. And of course, because I've got that cue ball with me, my intention is obviously to go into the Comrades Club. So down into the village. Look at that, all overexposed, the picture going in. Came out, and yeah, I was there quite a time, but no photos taken. Back home, there's the flatulent fairy. And yes, they're still watching stuff on the TV with Lady. I check inside, and I can see that's practically done. And yes, so now it's done, so upload it to YouTube. And I did some rough calculations based on what it said, and it looked as though it would be done at whatever time it was, a bit before 2 o'clock in the morning, so I did in fact come down for that. Anyhow, that's the end of the photo trail. Tuesday the 31st of December 2024. In other words, New Year's Eve, taking us into 2025. And the highlight for me was definitely the party in the Comrades Club. And I did a rare thing of actually shooting a little bit of material there. Yes. And who's that? That might be Alex. And yes. And of course, one of the reasons people don't like cameras is some people are not allowed to be in the Comrades Club, so I'm reliably told. And so they don't want it to be seen. Hence, I generally don't take anything. But I thought that was safe to do, and it was thoroughly enjoyable. Anyhow, what happened that day? I went down to the Flame Kebab in the afternoon, I think that was, and had a late lunch, and Jazz popped in and insisted on giving a present for the family, I think that was, and there were a few chocolates left when I got back. Yes, they're watching Pretty Woman, I think that is. Check the tracker. Yes, anybody could see where Robin was. There's Lady relaxing. Video call from Sally, I think, to say that they were going out partying and hope we'd have a good New Year's Eve. And June rustled out pizza, and then I thought, I didn't know, of course, what would be going on there, and I thought, I'd take the cue ball with me. Little did I know what it would be like. Anyhow, yes, it was brilliant. And yes, coming back, and they're watching the fireworks from London and the other stuff, partying basically. Yes, the same music, same channel, I think, BBC One. Anyhow, that's the end of the summary. So now into the photos and a clip of video in the order shot. So down to the Flame Kebab first, and Jazz saw me, popped in from the supermarket with a box of chocolates, Celebration I think they were. I do confess to eating a few. So left the Flame, past where Jazz is, and past the Comrades Club, and up the road, and of course it's not completely dark, so some of those photos did come out. So into Armitage Court, get to our place, you can see Homer there and the robot boat outside. 22 Armitage Court, come down, and Perhaps it was a bit mischievous of me, but I rang the doorbell and June came. Just thought I'd check them out. And they're watching Pretty Woman, I think. I think I recognise those guys. And yes, lady relaxing on Robin's chair. Check the tracker. Yes, anybody could see where I was. And back home. Yeah, that's annoying. I think it's to do with shutter speed on that camera. If it's too fast, then you get that effect. Most annoying. Still, that camera's better than nothing. Yeah, record the commentary for the day before, which was the Monday, as I'm doing for this one. Yeah, video call. And yeah, they're still watching this afternoon. Also doing a puzzle. Multitasking, I suppose you call that. Oh yeah, June's rustled up pizza. So I thought, yeah, perhaps I'll eat at home. So yes, there's lady relaxing in the kitchen with them. So that was the plate I picked up. Yeah, not a bad plate really. So I took that in, and when I played a video, it insisted on showing that history about the Harrier. I'm not sure I agreed with all of it. Some stuff left out, I think. Never mind. Yeah, so they're still watching some film or other. Ladies relaxing. So it's 22:10, I think that is, in the evening. So I'm off down to the village. Of course, I had no idea how lovely a party it would be in there, but it was. Trouble with the Comrades Club, it's so quiet all the time. Yes, of course, the Comrades Club is always very quiet. So back home, and yeah, into the house, and the women are watching the same BBC, I think that is, with things like the fireworks, and yes, relaxing that, and of course the same music, pop band, not pop band, it was a lady singer, but I can't remember the name, doesn't matter. Michelle had lit a fire, I think, had a few logs going there. Time for bed, so that's the end of the photo trail. I should have warned you that they would be long photo trails. So we're now going back through the untidy games room. Yes, lots of things here, more robot boats and things, including Alex's sailing saucer. And we're now going to go into material that was shot, might be a year or two back now, on the subjects of global warming and the prophetic words of James Lovelock, and also my thoughts about the DVLA, Driver Vehicle Licensing Agency. Quick glance at the kitchen. June's here having a cup of coffee, watching tennis, of course. And I didn't mention it before, but Baldrick's cunning plan this last year has been to get Samantha out of her room watching tennis all the time and learn housework and do housework for June, to take the load off June. And not only that, but odds and ends, like, and we did make a start putting up Homer, but not very much else. But hopefully progress will be made on that front. So we'll see. It means that Robin can spend more time relaxing, not working hard, and spend more time in the village. Some people call it networking, but others being lazy and spending time with friends in places like cafes and pubs and the Comrades Club. So I'm now going to run into that material that was shot whenever it was on the subject of global warming, the prophetic words of James Lovelock, and Robin's thoughts about the DVLA. And I think the material started about here. Now, what I put on the screen, because global warming is in itself, it's something that's been on my grumpy page for years. The remarkable James Lovelock, who passed away on the 26th of July, his 103rd birthday. I'll read out what this says here. This has been on the grumpy page for years, not long after the publication of his book, Revenge of Gaia. We can't stop global warming, but we may delay it by a few decades to give us time to prepare for its effects. Vast areas of the world, including as close as continental Europe, becoming arid desert, shrinking of habitable areas of the planet to much smaller parts of the planet, closer to the poles. The Earth will then only be able to support a small fraction of its present population, and there will be a need for massive migration. Places like the UK will remain temperate a little longer, so be an attractive destination. We need all world governments to cooperate to prepare for this inevitability. Also to agree things like reduce use of fossil fuels, to give us a few more decades to prepare. And then it goes on. The above is not a quote, but how I remember what James Lovelock said in his book, The Revenge of Gaia, etc. That's been unchanged on my site for years. And right, well, the other thing I should mention, yes, retired, happy and spending that kid's inheritance, is for some time now I've not been able to drive due to, well, several mistakes at the DVLA. And what I will say is that I have new evidence of what happened inside the DVLA, which I won't publish yet, because I'm still waiting for the reply to the letter which was delivered by recorded delivery to the head of the DVLA and also other people. So I'll put in at the end of this long video the video that's gone up, me talking about the DVLA, and basically in summary it says I don't want anybody to get into trouble, and that is definitely the case, and resigning is too easy. Problems need to be fixed. But quite honestly, that is a minor thing compared with all the other things that are going on in the world, not least wars, and of course what's in the background and very important is global warming. So let's run into that. Back in 2012.
We've seen the launch of a transatlantic sailing attempt this morning in a model boat. Retired NATO scientist Robin Lovelock launched his Snoop Loop from Barton-on-Sea towards the Bahamas. It's already been tested over 5,000 miles on a lake in Berkshire. The model will be steered and tracked through a satellite system and by Snoopy, of course, and it should make the crossing in 6 months, if it survives, that is.
The most important thing of the lot, of course, is Snoopy the Viking, the skipper. I don't think he'd make it otherwise. We've also got another bit and piece here. This is a GPS logger that logs the position every 15 minutes. That was back in 2012. The guy that put this material together, including the live broadcast and what went up on the BBC website, is Ben Moore.
I just worried for Snoopy. Sport now and Hampshire.
Right, on to the next topic. Right. Now, I'm going to do this all in one take. All unrehearsed and unscripted, so sorry about that. What I'd like to happen, if anybody picks up on the DVLA story, is, as I say, nobody getting into trouble, and that's a genuine request. But when they find flaws in procedures where they don't cover certain things, be good if those are fixed. What I think would be useful for anybody looking at the DVLA and perhaps helping them is, first of all, their organisation chart showing the structure. Yes, it's well known who the head of the DVLA, remarkable woman, looking at her CV, and relevant to this story is the head of the health part. But it would be very useful to see, even if names aren't attached, obviously the names can be attached where they're public already, is how many people in each branch, how many people are reporting to how many. So a simple tree would help. I suggest that first of all. Then, perhaps even more important, is how many people working for the DVLA, even if you don't identify the individuals, are salaried by the DVLA excuse me, directly, as opposed to contracted through an agency or a business. That is very important, and we've seen what's been happening in places like the NHS for years. So that comes into the equation in terms of whether money is well spent, and of course the DVLA collects a lot of money, and there are probably other things as well, but as a starting point, I'd hope anybody that responds to this, I can't afford to get overloaded, we've got other things to do, many other things to do, and we'll be taking a holiday. That'll be public, yes. I'm tracked everywhere by different things, and in fact, if anybody's paranoid about it, anybody who's tracking somebody or looking at somebody's probably seen already. But at the end of the day, there's me whittering on, which is one of my main weaknesses since I was a little child. That's why if you put things up clearly, be careful what you put up, and often it can do some good. I'm now in the kitchen, and June's rustling up some food in the microwave for Samantha, and here's Samantha, and of course there's tennis on the television, just for a change. So, oh yes, point out, holidays in we're going off to Sicily again soon, and into the hall. Yes, nice expensive paintings here. Yep, expensive little pocket camera, not expensive. And through into the lounge and out to wrap up this video by saying, look after yourselves, stay safe, and enjoy what days we have. Yes, it's now middle of March 2024, and the font's changed quite a bit. I'll have to change the copyright statement at the end, but the message is the same. Look after yourselves, stay safe, and enjoy life while we can. Oh yeah, my hair's grown a bit since then.